intro.
The movie begins with a fire couple landing in a new city filled with people of different elements. Turns out the fire couple are immigrants that cannot speak the English, as it says approved for immigration. We then start to find out the fire couple is the only fire element in the city and gets treated differently due to their appearance.
Damn, this guy's looking in pure disgust.
So it turns out the fire wife is pregnant, and we see the fire couple is rejected everywhere they go when they try to find a place to live la. So they settle for a worn-out, dirty home outside of the city.
For context, the director is Korean and actually came from an immigrant family and thus inspiring him to create this film. The wife then gives birth to a child named Amber, and as Amber grows up, her father builds a business of a convenience store to help attract other fire people of snacks and food that they miss from their hometown. I'm actually surprised Disney didn't go woke in this film and allow the common stereotype of immigrant owners working in convenience stores. And as time passes by, more and more fire people begin to immigrate and live here in Firetown. And Amber works at the shop for the cheap child labor, the common Asian practice. As we see tension between water and fire people, and once Amber finds out they're ruining the products, she rages and kicks them out. As Amber grows up, we find that when facing difficult customers, she shows them who's daddy and displays some anger issues.
Is this gluten-free? Why can't you vegans just eat some chicken?
Her father then tells her once she controls her anger issues, she can then take over the store. Oh, and Amber's mom is a love guru. Have some jizz on your face. The place Amber lives is called Firetown, like Chinatown. As the film doesn't even hide it's about Asians with references to Hot Pot, and that Amber's voice actress is literally an Asian. I wonder how many kids would try actually drinking lighter fluid from watching this scene. As Amber's dad is now getting old and thinking of retirement, he asks Amber to be in charge of the shop tomorrow for the Red Dot sale. She then gets super excited, prepares the shop, and gets ready to get triggered.
I will kill you.
With more and more people acting as Karens wanting coupons and refunds, Amber can't hold it and lets out her rage, which then bursts the pipes and floods the store. We're then introduced to the water boy Wade,
Who's built like the daddy but acts like a
baby.
Turns out he's a city inspector and writes a ticket for the shop having no permit and faulty pipes. Amber tries to steal the report as it will lead her dad's store getting shut down if the report reaches City Hall, so she chases Wade. Nah, but what's crazy is she deadass just left the store with no one else running it despite all the customers still inside. And although she tried,
when you try your best but you don't succeed.
Amber then gets sad saying it was her dad's dream, so Bro feels bad and tries to help her out. But Amber loses her temper, and her dad's shop is processed to shut down. When Amber gets back, her dad is fixing her mess. And to avoid getting in trouble, Amber lies and blames the water boy for bursting the pipe, as this only fuels her dad's hatred towards people even more. Amber then finds out her dad left his homeland, Fireland, due to a storm that destroyed everything and thus left for a better life. With Amber feeling terrible, she meets Wade again to talk to his boss. But upon meeting the boss gets mad at Amber because she said she looks like Lizzo. With the team losing, Wade then gets a crowd to encourage and cheer for a player who then goes ahead and wins the game. Everyone cheers, and the boss is now in a good mood, so she gives a deadline to Amber and says the shop won't shut down if she can track where the water leak was coming from. Amber is happy, spends bonding time with Wade as both start developing feelings. She then shares the time she wanted to see a Vivisteria flower but felt prejudiced because of her element. The film uses dialogue such as go back to Fireland, clearly implying prejudice towards immigrants was quite bad back then than it is now. Wade then cries hearing Amber's pain, and they discover the leak was caused by a hole in the dam, so Amber and Wade then work together to successfully close the hole with sandbags. Wade then asks out Amber on a date, and they end up going to the movies together, which means, I guess they're dating?
Oh my gosh, they're dating. Yes. Bro's got that crying riz.
Wait,
Side and what the heck?
the movie's called Prejudice? What? But it seemed wherever Amber went in the city, her element was seen as a burden, as if she didn't belong. But Wade continues to adore her. I believe Wade represents the people who still appreciate others regardless of their appearance and that there are still good people out there. Or Bro just has a fire Asian fetish.
You like the Asian one, boy, huh? You like the Kung Pao chicken teriyaki sauce?
And when other people are seen dancing, Amber is hesitant of touching Wade as she believes fire and water cannot match. It then turns out the sandbag did not hold the water, which results in another pipe leak at Amber's. Wade then comes over to tell her about it, only to get caught by her dad and lies saying he's a food inspector. So the dad puts him to the test, so Bro eats his food and explodes. Man, he really wants Amber's
Fire pussy.
When finding out Amber is talented at making glass, she then covers the hole with the glass she creates as it completely blocks the water from leaking. They celebrate, and Wade then brings Amber to meet his family, as we see the social hierarchy difference that Wade comes from a well-off family. And during dinner, we hear subtle covert racism from Wade's father,
I just have to say that you speak so well and clear.
implying immigrants shouldn't be able to articulate themselves, which is in and of itself condescending.
They want us to talk like this la. Oh, let me do your taxes. Oh, yeah.
Someone then breaks the glass, and Amber fixes it by making an even better one.
I'm good at this because I'm used to the child labor.
Wade's boss calls him and loves the glass, meaning Amber's dad's store won't be shut down. Wade's mom then casually offers Amber a job at the best glass-making firm that's looking for an intern, which is another shocking truth I'm surprised is in a Disney film that having connections and networking is actually a very privileged way people can get jobs in high positions. And just like that, she gets a high-paying job that would change her life. Wade is
Wait a second. How did elementals go to school? Where is the scoop?
super happy for her, but Amber gets mad.
So I'm just saying this one. Bro, what's that? That's it. Bro, you're just saying that. Bro, I hate this. Let's go rewind.
You speak so well and clear.
Implying immigrants shouldn't be able to articulate themselves, which is in and of itself condescending.
They want us to talk like this la. Oh, let me do your taxes.
As someone that breaks the glass, and Amber fixes it by making an even better one.
I'm good at this because I'm used to the child labor.
Wade's boss calls him and loves the glass, meaning
That's
Amber's dad's
lying.
store won't be shut down. Wade's mom then casually offers Amber a job at the best glass-making firm that's looking for an intern, which is another shocking truth I'm surprised is in a Disney film that having connections and networking is actually a very privileged way people can get jobs in high positions. And just like that, she gets a high-paying job that would change her life. Wade is super happy for her, but Amber gets mad as she realizes she doesn't want to take over her dad's store.
Bro, why does that? Rewind.
As she realizes she doesn't want to take over her dad's store,
You don't
feeling
want to
trapped
take
and
over.
obligated to vote.
You don't want to take over that store? Well, how can you get money? How did you get?
Over dad's dream and does what he wants rather than what she wants. Amber's mom then finds out she's dating a water boy
Bruh.
and makes them do a love matching test to prove they don't belong together. But Wade comes in clutch and turns out they're a perfect match. Amber's dad then comes in, so they hide Wade. And it's actually unusual that the mom is being supportive in helping Amber hide Wade, since, for example, in a Korean household, the wife is the man of the house and generally against the relationship with a foreigner. Amber's dad is super happy to announce he will retire and wants to hand the family business to Amber, pressuring her to carry on his legacy, as Amber knows she can never follow her passion because her parents' happiness is expected to come first. And this is the toxic reality of why so many Asians become doctors, lawyers, or engineers, not because it's something they ever wanted to do, but because Asian parents expect their children to put the parents' happiness first over themselves, and that in order for us to even feel validated, we need to do whatever it takes to make them happy, and if we refuse, we get disowned. Amber then plans to break up with Wade, knowing that her father would never accept him. But before she could tell him, Wade then takes her on a trip with the help of his boss, and he takes her to see the Vivisteria flower she always dreamed of seeing as a kid. Once they leave, Amber is overjoyed, so bro risks it all and makes a move. Amber, understanding that it could end each other's lives, goes for it anyway. It turns out it creates steam, so they decide to create a whole lot of steam. You know what I mean? But then Amber thinks of her father, his dreams and his wishes, then gets the ick. Essentially, my boy just got cock-blocked. Amber says she has to take over the shop, and Wade tells her to express her true thoughts to her father, in which she replies, doing what you want is a luxury that people like her aren't able to do. Wade then tells her she's afraid, to which Amber says, and I quote, "You don't know what it's like to have parents that gave up everything for you." And to that I disagree. This is a manipulation tactic Asian parents use on their kids all the time, that they claim they immigrated and gave up everything purely for the sake of their kids is bullshit. They immigrated because they wanted a better life, because they thought their living situation would be much better somewhere else. And in the case for Amber, they didn't even know what gender she was going to be and made her work child labor to help build their own business. They didn't make Amber work for the sake of Amber. They did it for themselves, for their own interests. So to pretend they gave up everything purely for the sake of kids is ridiculous, and that if the kid doesn't obey or do what the parents want, they get disowned for it. Personally, when my parents beat me as I was struggling to speak English, I didn't think for a second
Bro, they beat you?
my parents gave up everything and immigrated for the sake of me. And if I ever spoke out about it, I was called selfish for bringing it up. Amber and Wade then argue and end up breaking up. Dad makes a big ceremony to announce his retirement as he's about to get Amber the store. But Wade is horny and pops in, and thanks to his intervention, her dad finds out she's been dating him and that Amber lied that it was her that broke the water pipes. Amber then gets publicly shamed and disowned as her dad comes out of retirement to run the store again. I was surprised Amber's mom even defended her, saying it is true love, when Asian parents would never even say something like that. Amber then drives off and sulks when suddenly the glass breaks, causing a flood water to pour into Firetown. Amber then drives off to find her parents, then goes into the store to protect the blue flame, which represents her heritage and culture. Wade then comes to help because he's horny. As Amber creates glass
So many ads, bro. So many ads.
to protect the fire, the water becomes too strong and puts out the blue flame. But Wade somehow saves it. Man, he really wants Amber. God damn. But because they're stuck inside a small room with no windows, Wade starts to evaporate. As he embraces his death, Amber confesses she loves him, and they have one final hug as Wade evaporates. Wade is now dead, and Amber tells her dad her honest thoughts that she does not want to run the shop. Her dad says it's completely fine, which is not what happens in immigrant households in real life, but I get it. It's a kid's movie. What are you going to tell me next? That Wade is still alive and Amber gets a happily ever after? Touche, Disney. Touche. Wade and Amber then gives a Disney smoochie, and months later a different fire couple runs the store with Amber's dad happily retired, and it seems Wade is fully accepted into the family. Amber accepts the new internship for the glass firm that is very far away, as her parents encourage her to start a new life. Amber then pays her respects, and so does her father, and the movie ends there. I honestly